The following presentation is taken from the Final Word Show on www.redmentv.com. It's only available for Redmen TV members. It's £2 a month. We basically discuss football a lot, like a ridiculous amount, like 45 minutes, 3 shows a week. It's £2 a month. You should know this by now. If you're not a Redmen TV member, it's not worth living. So just go over there, subscribe. Enjoy the show, guys.
Speaking of senior players, and arguably the most important player in Liverpool's team, Chris. I thought so. Back in the team, seemingly back to his best, Adam Lallana. Just how good is he? 10. It's been a while since we've had a Lallana love-in on this show. It's been a few weeks, and I think it's about time we got back to it.
The guy is so football smart.
He's so good at footy, yeah.
And he's so good in the half space. He's so good on the turn. He's so good at winning the ball back from behind opposition players that, you know, we've said it so many times on this show, Matt, where we've gone, he sets the press. It sounds so obvious, but it's so true. And he's the captain of the attacking players for me. He's the guy who, he's charged with playing centre midfield, but he's got as many goals as he got all last season already. He's dropped back a level and he's found space in front of him, and he's now seeing where the open spaces are ahead of him, and he's going, all right, well, the ball's over to the left. Guys, have you got it? Yes, I'm going to join that, and we're going to create something a little bit special over this side of the pitch. Or, all right, you know what, we'll go over to the right. And his all-round game from that centre midfield position is superb. You look at him, you don't think he's a midfielder in the way that like Steven Gerrard was a midfielder, but he's having as much as an effect on this football team as Gerrard did in his pomp. And I'm being deadly serious, I'm not overplaying this at all, because he's making this team tick and everything runs through him, and it's incredible to see from a player who didn't have the backing of the fans, who we thought was all overpriced. I probably wouldn't have even said he had the mental toughness to turn that around. Not only has he got that, he's got the skill and the guile to affect football matches regularly for us.
Yeah, we were saying during the match, Matt, that if the season continues to progress as it has, from the outside looking in, everyone will say Phil Coutinho's Liverpool's best player. From the inside looking out, we'll all know it's actually Adam Lallana.
Yeah, quite probably. Yeah, I mean, a year ago, I would never have expected this. Like, just couldn't see it happening. But
remember the surprise of like, Adam Lallana started every game under Jurgen Klopp after 10 games or something. We were like, oh.
One at the beginning of the season when that was the shape that he was lining up within. I think that, you know, credit obviously to Lallana, but obviously credit to Klopp and the coaching staff, because they've given him, it's a completely new role really. You know, it's totally different to receiving the ball with sort of back to goal and doing his Cruyff turn into a defender. You know, instead now he's got space in front of him and he's arriving into the box. You know, last night twice with the goals. But I think that it works with like the fluidity of the players in front of him, so that he's got that space to arrive into, rather than before it was all very congested up there. There was no movement if it was Balotelli that was playing alongside him. You know, so yeah, credit to everybody all around really, the sort of movement of the players around him, the coaching staff, and you can see that there's a very good understanding that's clearly been worked on a hell of a lot before the season even started. That midfield, the sort of interchanging of the way that they cover for each other's spaces, they know when one's gone and one drops in. Yeah. It's nice to see.
It's funny, isn't it? Because we always describe it as free-flowing attacking football, but it's not. It's worked on.
Yeah.
Everybody has their set little runs that they make and the spaces to fill. And so to the outside, they're looking at the game and go, oh, wow, aren't they dead fluid? It's not like that at all. These are in-game situations, almost plays like the NFL, where you go that way, and see what they do. Yeah. And it's incredible to watch.
It's brilliant about like Adam Lallana, what you're saying there, mate. He went from being having a role, and his role was like, you play here, your job is to kick the ball to the guy who's playing centre forward and hope that he scores. You know, you're a winger, you've got a very limited box of in which you can operate, to the point now where we've just gone, can you handle this? And we've loaded the pressure on him and loaded the responsibility on him. And he is just, you know, it's phenomenal the variation that is required from that role. And, you know, just by the fact that the other guys that we've got who play that position, even though it's not really that position, don't do it to the same level, because, you know, look at it now, as you say, Lallana is probably the only guy in our team who genuinely understands what the three in front are actually doing. And that must be a very difficult thing to do because there is so much going on that he knows who I'm passing it to, where I'm going to go when I'm passing it. And also he's got that thing where it's almost like, let's use a Frogger style situation where you're looking for the gap in traffic for you to go in, you can go in there and get across. And Adam Lallana has the ability and the vision to be able to predict where he needs to go to be able to do this, arriving late in the box, which is why he's picking goals up. Just phenomenal. It's great to see, because isn't it lovely to have a football player who we've signed from a lower team down the league. You know, it was a great match of the day player. Everyone was raving about him. We looked like at the time, I wouldn't have minded a bit of him. And we've got him, and he's really good.
And he's improved.
And he's gotten better, you know, as opposed to like like the Jermaine. I always come back to Jermaine Pennant, but you know, like he looked really good when he was playing, being a big fish in a small pond. And then you get to Liverpool. We've had loads of them. You know, one came off the bench last night. Stuart Down and being another one. We've seen it time and time again. It's phenomenal and so pleasing to see someone again who's clearly a really nice fella, a really hard worker, a really talented football. And you know, not that I really care about it too much, but English as well. Performing at that kind of level, and to think people said he was never going to be a Klopp player, Chris.
Yeah, people are stupid.
So we've got a brand new range of merchandise available as modelled by Mr. Paul Machin. We've got the Dreams and Songs signature collection as well. Go and check out the new site, do it now, and help support the show.